7. The Chilean Bones Mystery. Chile is a country rich in natural and cultural diversity, but it also holds countless mysteries and secrets. One of the most intriguing and baffling of these is the discovery of different bones and skeletons that defy conventional explanation. These bones have sparked curiosity, speculation, and even controversy among scientists, historians, and the general public. Here are just a few of the most remarkable cases of the infamous Chilean bone mystery. The Atacama alien mummy. In 2003, a small skeleton was discovered in a deserted town in northern Chile's Atacama Desert. The skeleton was just 6 inches, had 10 instead of 12 ribs, had big eye sockets, and an elongated skull. Some people believe that it was an alien or hybrid creature, and it was even featured in a UFO documentary called Sirius. But DNA analysis by Stanford University researchers revealed that it was simply a human fetus with rare genetic mutations that affected its bone development. The fetus was more than likely born prematurely and died not long after birth. The Antarctic whale bones. In 2010, a team of paleontologists found a graveyard full of whale fossils in the Atacama Desert, nearly 120 miles from the coast. The fossils belong to several species of whales, as well as dolphins, seals, and aquatic sloths. They were dated from 6 to 9 million years ago, when the area was still just a shallow bay. The researchers wondered how so many marine animals ended up in the same place and all died together. They proposed that they were probably victims of harmful algal blooms or red tides that poisoned and caused them to beach themselves. The Antarctic woman's bones. In 1985, a group of Chilean scientists uncovered human bones on Livingston Island, part of the South Shetland Islands in Antarctica. The bones belong to a woman who died when she was just 21 years old. The strange thing is that she was an indigenous person from southern Chile, 621 miles away. She died between 1819 and 1825, making her one of the earliest known human visitors to the Antarctic continent. The researchers speculated that she was likely brought there by sealers who had a close relationship with the indigenous people of Chile. They also wondered how she survived the harsh conditions and what caused her death in the first place. These are just some of the most fascinating and strangest cases in the Chilean bone mystery. They show us that Chile has a rich and complex history that's still waiting to be uncovered and fully understood. 6. An ancient restaurant. Pompeii was a Roman city buried by a volcanic eruption back in 79 AD. The city was preserved for thousands of years under layers of ash and pumice, and it offers a unique glimpse into ancient Roman life and culture. One of the most recent discoveries in Pompeii is what's called a thermopolium, or fast food counter, that once served various dishes to customers. A thermopolium was a common feature in many Roman cities, where people could buy food and drinks like bread, cheese, wine, soup, and meat. The thermopolium in Pompeii was initially uncovered in 2020 by a team of archaeologists who discovered a colorful fresco depicting a sea nymph riding a seahorse on the front of the counter. The counter also held several jars, called dolia, that contained ancient food remains. The food revealed some of the dishes that were served at the thermopolium, like duck bones, goat meat, fish sauce, snails, and even crushed fava beans. These dishes reflect the diversity and richness of Roman cuisine, as well as the influence of different cultures. These dishes were exotic for the time. The thermopolium also had some personal items belonging to either the owner or the workers, like a bronze ladle, a flask, and a ceramic oil container. The archaeologists also discovered some human and animal bones near the counter, suggesting that some people and animals died nearby during the eruption. The thermopolium is one of the most shocking discoveries in all of Pompeii, since it shows how the ancient Romans ate and lived during their daily lives. It also shows how the eruption preserved their food and belongings for centuries. 5. Plate tectonics. The Earth's surface is not a solid layer, but a dynamic and constantly changing one. Earth's crust is divided into several rigid plates that move on top of hot and molten rock called the mantle. This movement is mainly driven by the heat from the Earth's core and the gravity of both the moon and the sun. The plates slide past each other, collide with each other, and even pull apart from each other. These interactions cause geological phenomena like mountain formation, volcanic activity, continental drift, and even earthquakes. The theory of plate tectonics was first developed during the 1960s, based on newly discovered evidence from seafloor spreading, magnetic patterns, and earthquake zones. But the idea that the continents were once joined together before drifting apart was first proposed by a German meteorologist named Alfred Wegener in the 20th century. He called the supercontinent Pangaea, and he based his idea on the matching shapes and fossils of continents like Africa and South America. Still though, he could not explain how or why the continents actually moved. His theory was rejected by most geologists of his time, who believed the Earth's crust was fixed and stable. Plate tectonics explains many aspects of the Earth's structure and evolution. It helps us understand how the Earth's surface has changed over millions of years, how life has adapted to several environments, and how natural resources have been distributed. It also helps us predict and prepare for hazards, such as volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, and earthquakes. Plate tectonics is one of the most important and shocking recent discoveries made by geologists. It shows us how dynamic and complex our planet is, and how much we still need to learn in order to properly protect it. Did you know all the continents used to be one megacontinent? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you're enjoying the video so far, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. 4.
The Earth is not the center of the universe.
For many years, people believed the Earth was the center of the universe and that everything else, including the sun, revolved around it. This was based on what they saw in the sky and what came out of the Bible. But this archaic view was challenged by a Polish astronomer named Nicolaus Copernicus in the 16th century. He proposed that the Earth and other planets in our solar system actually orbit the sun, which is just one of many stars in the entire galaxy. This was a radical idea for the time that contradicted the prevailing worldview and the Church's grand authority. Copernicus's theory was not accepted at first, since it went against common sense and tradition. It also had a few problems, like explaining why the planets sometimes seem to move backwards in the sky. Copernicus used circular orbits and complex mathematical calculations to make up for these irregularities, but they were not very accurate. He also did not have that much direct evidence to support his theory, like observations of the phases of Venus or the moons of Jupiter. But his theory was later supported by an Italian scientist named Galileo Galilei, who used a telescope to watch the sky in the early 17th century. He discovered that Venus had phases similar to the moon, which meant that it orbited the sun, not the Earth. He also discovered that Jupiter had 4 moons of its own, which showed that not everything revolved around Earth. These observations confirmed Copernicus's theory and challenged the Church's reigning doctrine. Galileo soon published his findings in a book called Dialogue Concerning the Two Chief World Systems, which compared Copernicus's theory with the traditional view. Sadly, he was accused of heresy by the Catholic Church and forced to take back his finding. Thanks to the Church's harsh rules, he was forced under house arrest for years until his death. It took a long time for people to accept that the Earth is not actually the center of everything, but just a small planet in a vast cosmos. This discovery changed our understanding of our position in the universe and opened up new possibilities for discovery. It also sparked a scientific revolution that led to many breakthroughs in physics, astronomy, mathematics, and philosophy. 3. Pig-to-human kidney transplant. One of the most challenging problems in all of modern medicine is the shortage of human organs needed for transplantation. According to the United Network for Organ Sharing, almost 107,000 people in the United States alone are waiting for an organ transplant, and nearly 17 people die each day while waiting. To address this growing issue, scientists have been exploring the possibility of using animal organs, like pig organs, as a source of replacement for humans. This is called xenotransplantation and has been the subject of intense research and ethical debate for decades. But xenotransplantation faces many obstacles, like the risk of rejection, infection, and ethical concerns. One of the main barriers to the procedure is the immune response that happens when a foreign organ is introduced into a human body. The immune system recognizes the animal organ as an invader and tries to attack it, causing inflammation, damage, and failure. One of the molecules that triggers this response is a sugar known as alpha-gal, which is present on the surface of pig cells but not human cells. To overcome this obstacle, scientists have used gene editing tools, like CRISPR-Cas9, to modify the pig genome and remove the harmful alpha-gal gene. This creates a genetically modified pig that does not produce alpha-gal in its cells, making it more compatible with human bodies. These pigs are called gal-safe pigs and have been approved by the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, for use as food and even as potential sources of medical products. In September 2021, a team of researchers from NYU Langone Health in New York City performed an experiment using a gal-safe pig kidney. They transplanted the kidney into a brain-dead human patient who showed signs of kidney dysfunction and whose family agreed to the procedure. The kidney was attached to the patient's blood vessels and maintained outside the body for almost 54 hours, allowing the researchers to monitor both its function and rejection status. The results were remarkable. The kidney functioned normally, producing urine and filtering waste, and there was no evidence of immediate or even acute rejection. This experiment was the first successful xenotransplantation of a pig kidney into a human, and it could potentially pave the way for future clinical trials in patients with end-stage kidney failure. Researchers hope that this breakthrough will lead to a viable solution for the organ shortage crisis and improve the quality of life for millions of transplant patients. 2. Xenobots. What if you could make a robot that's not made of metal, plastic, or wires, but of living cells? That's exactly what a team of scientists from the University of Vermont, Tufts University, and Harvard University did during 2020. They created the world's first living robots, known as Xenobots, by using stem cells from the African clawed frog. Xenobots are small blobs of skin and heart cells that are able to move, work together, and heal themselves. They are less than 0.04 inches and have no brain, nervous system, or organs. They're designed by a computer program that simulates how different arrangements of cells can perform tasks, like swimming, pushing pellets, or carrying weight. The scientists then use microsurgery to assemble the cells according to the blueprints generated by the computer. Xenobots are not only alive, but they can also reproduce. The same group of scientists found in 2021 that Xenobots can self-replicate by accumulating free cells in their surroundings and shaping them into other Xenobots. This process is called kinematic self-replication. It's similar to how crystals grow by adding more atoms to their structure. Xenobots are a new form of life that challenge the conventional definitions of robots and organisms. They are also a powerful tool for studying how cells cooperate to build complex bodies during development. Xenobots also have potential applications in medicine, environmental remediation, and biotechnology. For example, Xenobots could be used to deliver drugs inside the human body, clean up microplastics in the ocean, or monitor the effects of climate change on ecosystems. They are a remarkable achievement of science and engineering that open up new possibilities for exploring the nature of life and creating new solutions for global challenges. 1. Exploding ants. Ants are among some of the most diverse and successful creatures on Earth, with over 12,000 species and a global distribution. Ants are also known for their social behaviors, like cooperation, communication, and division of labor. Some ants even have the ability to sacrifice themselves for the benefit of their colony by exploding their own bodies to release a toxic substance that can kill predators. These ants are called exploding ants. They belong to a subfamily called Colobopsis. In 2018, a team of scientists from Austria, Thailand, and Brunei discovered a new species of exploding ants in Borneo, an island in Southeast Asia that is overwhelmingly rich in biodiversity. The new species was named Colobopsis explodens, and it was described as the model species for the study of exploding ants. The scientists observed that C. explodens ants have different roles within the colony. like workers, soldiers, and doorkeepers. The doorkeepers are specialized ants that use their large, flat heads to block the entrance of the nest, preventing intruders. The soldiers are the ones that can explode their abdomens when threatened, releasing a yellow liquid that contains chemicals able to kill the enemy. The workers are the ones that perform tasks, such as foraging, cleaning, and caring for larvae. The discovery of sea explodens adds to our knowledge of the diversity of ants, especially those that have unusual adaptations and behaviors. Exploding ants are an example of how animals use their bodies as weapons to protect their group from harm. They also show how nature can produce amazing forms of life. Thanks for watching this video about crazy scientific discoveries. We hope you enjoyed it and maybe learned something new. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content. We would love to hear your comments and suggestions for future videos below. Stay curious and keep exploring. We'll see you next time.